Okay guys, TGM Shields here. The TGM stands for the Gothic Machine, but Adam Shields is my real name. Um, this is not a vlog of any kind. This is not video life blog. This is not Night Owl. This is just me coming up forward with you about why in past videos, way back, leading up to now, why my actions were the way they were in each certain video. Okay, I decided to break silence of it because I was afraid of, back then I was afraid of being judged by YouTube community, any remaining YouTube trolls, or even random people for that fact. But I'm not afraid now because I really don't care what type of trolling or stuff comes up after I mention this stuff. So yeah, I'm pretty sure at the starting story of my life, everybody's been at this point. I met someone that I thought was my one true love when I was about 18 years old. Everything was going well. Got had a kid, and I was forced into a shotgun wedding at 20 years old. Then things started going downhill from there. My in-laws decided they wanted to pull a couple of strings and get their daughter into the act, and cost me my daughter at any and all costs, but make sure to humiliate me first. At the time, I didn't know they were trying to humiliate me. I didn't know they were trying to destroy me. I just thought I was doing everything humanly possible to get my family back. I thought if I busted my ass off working, had a home of my own, had a spare room perfectly made up for my daughter, that maybe once I've achieved all that, I'd get my daughter back. Well, one day, or should I say one night, I kind of like sat at the bottom of the stairwell and heard my wife talk, or my wife at the time, talking to her parents. They were talking about me being an idiot, that my daughter's never coming back, and I had a fight about it. Plus, to make it more definitive, instead of my wife at the time trying to weasel out of it, right on my birthday, I was issued a child support paper while I was still working and had a home for my daughter. So I figured I'm working my ass off for nothing. My life's going to be hell for as long as I live, so why not divorce her if my family's never going to be complete? So we went at a long-waged war for almost 1 to 2 years, if not more, until she finally broke and gave me my divorce. Because she found somebody online and all she wanted was a divorce, but since she wanted it more than me, I figured she should pay for the whole entire divorce. because she was unlawful, she was unfaithful, she did not love me, did not care for me, and did not respect me. So right there was the beginning part of my damage. As time, well, hold it, I didn't even start the beginning here. That was my marriage. So we won't have to go back to this part in the video. Let's start the real damage. When I was about, I think, 15 or 16 years old, a friend of the family decided that he had other plans in mind for me, and he said he told everybody he wants to go take me fishing. I was in a full body cast because of certain serious health reasons, and it wasn't a fishing trip. That very night, I got molested. And I finally found out why a person that I did know pretty well that used to come to my house ran out in front of a train and committed suicide by getting hit by a train. It's because this very same guy also molested him too. And if he tried to cope with it, people would label him gay and won't believe a word he said and keep questioning him down on why he hasn't tried anything to stop it. So the only answer for him was suicide, which is tragic. Me, I'm one of the sole survivors of the same person. But when it happened to me, I stayed silent. I was scared when he was present because before my mom picked me up, he told me to my face that I'm just a kid. No one's going to believe me. That kids my age pack tails and start trouble all the time. So yeah. When my mom brought me back, first place I went to is someone who I thought I'd be safe around, and that very guy just happened to show up there. People were wondering why I was staying silent and scaredly taking 2 steps back and then leaving the place. I go back to my mom, and I'm sitting there with that scared look on my face and wanting to cry. My mom wanted to know why. So I told her what happened. She was irate. She called a person who's been around our family trying to help us around for a long time, which we now live with at this point, that what this person has done. At that point, when my mom got off the phone, I said, "You may have said something, but I don't think anything's going to be done about it. Nobody but my own mother wants to believe me on this one." I said, that's what hurts me the most. I said, because at a certain point he was right, that at the age I was, we're just tail packers, trouble starters. No one's going to believe us even if we were telling the truth. I come to find out, as time progressed, it took years before I found out that he did pay a price. He lost most of his friends. His health is not in the best of condition. And newer people that's starting to find out about this already want to go in decimating. But here's the thing. As I progress with the story, I will tell you why things are halted. So, after this stuff happened, I wanted to experiment because I had one question on my mind. Is gay relationships the same as straights? Do they function the same way? So I decided to venture that. I got my answers. They are the same. One acts like a woman, one acts like a man. Also, once I got done venturing that and I came back to my mom's, I received a phone call from my biological father stating that he disowns me for my choice, which he didn't sit back to listen to the whole entire story. It was just an experiment. It wasn't as serious as he was making it out, so I sat back and thought about it. He only sees me every 5 to 10 years. So what I'm hearing is not going to devastate me at all. My mom asked me after I took and hung up the phone, did that hurt me? I said, no, if anything, it made me smile, it made me happy. I said, he's finally removed from my life like he's been all those years. Then later, during my experimentation, a bunch of false preachers called me an abomination of God, that I should be eradicated from the planet, and then some of them say I suffered from a sickness or an illness and I need to be fixed. Okay, now we're going to move forward right back to where we were after the marriage story. To this day now, I've learned to cope with all of it. I've learned to tell anyone I wasn't afraid to tell. Because if they were going to stay away from me, then they don't understand me. They're not real friends. They're not real family. And I can find people that are real friends and real family real quick. Plus, every person that's ever wronged me in my whole entire life, about a month or so ago, I sent out a massive forgiveness prayer to every single one of them. I can live at peace with myself instead of being a ball of rage and a ball of anger. Now, as for the people that gotten the forgiveness, it's on for them what they do with it. One of the people I've forgiven has already messed that forgiveness up. Because during this stimulus check pandemic, my biological father can only see dollar signs in his eyes at me. He asked for my social security number so he can put me on his taxes and make sure I don't get the stimulus and that he gets a bonus on his. And he's been stalking me ever since for it. So yeah, that's all I gotta say, guys. This video is just me finally opening up the doors, pulling open Pandora's box for you guys, and being acceptant on whatever comes my way throughout this whole entire YouTube run. It takes courage to pop here on YouTube and release all of this, knowing what type of can of worms it can pop open or how many people can understand. But I'm willing to accept it from either angle. If it's horrible, I don't have to pay attention to it. If it's understanding and considerate, then I welcome it. Most people just don't want to release this type of stuff. They're afraid of being damaged so much by internet trolls and tons of misunderstanding people, to where it would damage them so severe that they would think suicide's an answer. To me, it's not going to do that to me at all. Well, guys, this has been TGM Adam Shields. Thanks for listening to me. I will see you next time, guys.